Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not real art unless you didn't buy your camera, you stole it. Welcome back. Due to the overwhelming popularity of these reaction videos, I'm back. I think 4 people have watched the previous ones, but they might have all been me, so no, it doesn't matter. This isn't for you guys anyway. This is basically for my entertainment. Yes, so we're still in 2007. I am in 2022. June specifically, no, July. I think this is July 3rd of 2022. Hi, I'm Gwydion, for those who don't know me. Doing the lighting a little differently this time, for reasons. And what else? Yeah, let's jump right in. Those who know me, hello. Those who know me and have read The Small Gray Mouse and other short stories, as well as Smaller Mouse, are going to get a special treat. I won't say more than that. We'll just jump right in. We're going to do 4 today. You've probably already read the titles of them in the description. Did you get a little blip there? Sorry about that. Just some technical difficulties on my end. So we're going to start the video. This one I believe was called Layla. Starting now.
I've seen your video. Do you want to know what I think?
Spooky. Drinking Coke. Referencing my old videos. Who the hell was that?
There's me.
I've seen these kids come out of film school and think they have an idea of what art is. You need to get your hands on some of these. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not real art unless you didn't buy your camera, you stole it. Buradine crystals. They'll save you from radiation, and it creates a field. It'll protect you. But hear me out.
The fucked up thing about all of this is that you really think you're helping people.
That's a friend of mine who was an actress and non-union, so it was no problem to be in my YouTube videos. Okay.
Not at all. You heard me. How are you helping people? How is being cooped up in an office for however many hours of your day doing any good for the people that are hungry and starving and homeless?
It's not.
Do you think that this is effective? Do you think that this is really doing some good? You've said so yourself.
She's actually working from a script that I wrote, not word for word, but basically I was like, I would like for you to roast me about these reasons. Come from the perspective as if you were like a full-on activist, and that I was claiming that I'm doing something benevolent and good for humanity and making these silly YouTube videos for my Gwydion channel, and just roast the shit out of me. And so there were bullet points. Anyway.
These indie films are a product of Viacom. You know what? You talk so much crap about that, and you sit here and you buy into it and you give into it anyway with your...
At that time, I had thought, I think what it was Viacom had bought a majority of shares of Google, and Google, I don't know if Google had absorbed YouTube yet, but somewhere in there I was under the impression that YouTube was basically Viacom, which I think is not an accurate thing, but at the time, it's what I thought.
Coca-Cola. How many people have access to your little internet movies? Millions and millions of people out there couldn't even dream of having access to this stuff. You might be thinking that you're reaching people, but you're reaching the people that can't do anything about it. You're reaching the people that don't care. You're reaching the people that probably don't even watch your fucking movies. They don't watch what you have to say. For Christ's sake, you're a smart man. You have great ideas. You have power. Join a noble cause. Gwydion.la. Superman
that was
has
the
to come
name of
out
my
of the phone
website.
booth. Come out of the phone phone booth. Your office is a phone booth, and that's not going to do any good for you. Go out and spend the amount of time that you spent cooped up in your phone booth
15 years ago.
Something, rather than being so self-absorbed and having it just be movies about you, movies
How
of
much
you
has
talking,
changed?
movies of your opinion.
There's subtle levels. I'm working on the level of thought here.
Gandhi used his body, Gandhi used his mind, Gandhi used his wisdom.
Down McCarthy and brought down all that stuff by being the first person to have the courage to come out and say anything.
Crystals in a triangle around your monitor? Are you fucking crazy? Ruhan mama.
She was half Lebanese, and so we took my black Golden Dawn robe and made it look like a hijab so that she could yell at me in Arabic, but I believe she was saying, like, hello, how are you? It's just kind of basic conversational Arabic. Why? I don't know. I thought it would be interesting. It's probably problematic on some level, but I don't know. It just seemed like appropriate to have her at the same time be like a leftist activist hipster that's roasting a self-important smug, cishet white male, as they say in our current vernacular. I don't think those terms were around back then, at least not all of them. And at the same time be roasting me as if she were coming from the other side of the world, roasting the American Gwydion. I don't know. I have no idea. It was sort of intuitive, artistic choice.
There are real problems out there. You think that's gonna save people? You think telling people to put crystals around their computer monitors?
She's laughing a bit.
You're self-entitled, you're egocentric, you're egotistical. La ilaha illallah. You think your puny little voice is way louder than it really is, and you think you're gonna make a difference with this bullshit. Did I say salam alaikum already?
I don't know.
Give me a cigarette. Get the fuck. What else is it gonna take for me to fucking get through to you that you aren't doing any good? Sitting in your little cubicle, sitting in your little office, buying into corporate America, preaching that you're not buying into corporate America, trying to make a point when you're not really making a point to anybody. It's fucking bullshit. You're not doing anything. You just like the sound of your own voice talking back at you on a radioactive fucking computer screen.
You make a valid point.
What the fuck is the little thing that you talk into? Would you really think you're cool? This feels kind of weird. Getting back to my roots. I'll turn off the lights and get rid of you, mister. Please don't breathe.
Shadow. I won't.
You've spent so much goddamn time preaching to everybody about what's wrong. Have you ever offered a solution to teach people and give them the tools and the knowledge that they need to actually get up and make a difference? You can't make a difference by sitting there talking shit about everything. As much information as you put on your little YouTube video, you're not going to do anything about it if you don't instruct people and if you don't help people. You talk about wanting to get information out to people, okay, then show them what the problem is and offer them a solution and show them how to do it and show them how to fix it. That'll really make a difference. What a fucking concept you came up with, and unfortunately, that's all it is. It's just you being proud and pretentious about you and your supposed movement. That's not low-def pride. That's exactly what you were bitching about. It's you bowing down to the machine, buying into
Some
all the corporate
callbacks.
bullshit that you so hate. If you were really proud, you'd create low-def pride and have it be a movement that swept the world, really took a stance. You say you have a purpose.
Was irrelevant
Wanna
after
explain
a
to me
year.
your 6 minutes of deer? Sung over by an Arabic woman? Come on, what is that really doing for the world? Nothing. Nothing. That's you wasting time. That is a damn good waste of time.
Yeah, I think it was only after another year or so, because this was February 2007. So it wasn't too long after that high def was just something like right now. This is high def, just sort of a normal thing that came with any camera or any phone. But back then, I was actually using a camera that was arcane at the time. It still had the tape. I think I was romantic about the character, not Kevin Spacey's character, but the guy with the camera, with the bag, following the bag around. So I got the camera with the little tape.
Just took some of my life away from me. I want it back, and I think you owe the deer an apology. Can we talk for a second about zombie boobs? You had some profound epiphany that you had to share with the world through zombie boobs and
That was an art walk video that didn't survive. There are ones that did survive. There's a playlist. Can you see my finger? some of them were good. Actually, I start that playlist out with one of the better ones. So if you're bored with this video, click away, going that way.
Tribute to some woman? Come on, man. Come on. If you were really taking what you do seriously and if you were really out to save the world, you would have messages and you would have information and you would have important things to say in every single one of your videos. But boobs and deer and Arabic music have nothing to do with that. Video feedback and your mirror effect, that's just your vanity again. That's just you wanting to see more images of you on your own TV. You like the sound of your own voice and you like the look of your own goddamn face. So let me tell you something. It's not that great. It's you playing around with a bunch of little toys that people have already done somewhere. They've moved on from it. They've risen above it. And you just so happen to be so far behind that you still think it's cool. Allahu Akbar. And I have another bone to pick with you. Remember this?
See?
That's
Callback.
right. You might have seen this before. And correct me if I'm wrong, but does it not look like it is in exactly the same position that it was in when the video started and retraced his steps, if you will, to suddenly bring a solution to the world? Something's fishy about this. Just like everything else that you fucking do. This is just the beginning. This one little lie, this one little camera trick. Have you looked at this wall? Do you know what's on this fucking wall? This wall is full of logical fallacies. First of all, does that make any sense to you? But second of all, it's all lies. His entire creation station is lies. View to consequences. Determining causation. Circular cause and consequence. Slippery slope? What is this? The straw man fallacy. You don't have a logical argument to anything else. You can't really defeat a big problem, so you create a fake one that resembles the original one enough to trick people into believing that it's real. And then, lo and behold, you manage to defeat it. And it's all one big fat lie. And get over Penelope Cruz. I've had it. I'm done with it. I can't take it anymore. If I have to listen to any more of your bullshit, and if I have to watch one more stupid goddamn video, I'm gonna scream. I'm sorry about my sister. Ah! I like movies. Inshallah. Allah Mike.
All right. So there you have it. Yes. So that was my basically my criticism of myself from another person through another person. I think at one point, I don't know if it was included in the. No, it wasn't in that. She says, "I'm actually starting to really hate what you do here." In the getting into the character, as it were. So that was that one. Moving along, this next one is called "That Fate Which Condemns Me," which, I mean, if you aren't like way too familiar with the Phantom of the Opera, this will just come off as really fucking weird. It's already going to be really weird, but here, I'll just play you an audio clip.
That fate which condemns me to wallow in blood has also denied me the joys of the flesh.
So that is from Phantom of the Opera. It's one of the lyrics. And so I was listening to Phantom of the Opera in my car, and I thought it would be funny to pick up my camera and point it at myself while I was driving and say that. So then I made a video out of it. Here we go.
That fate which condemns me to wallow in blood, to wallow in blood. That fate which condemns me to wallow in blood has also denied me the joys of the flesh.
Original artwork there. Some of those made it into Small Mouse, I think. Maybe the TV one. Stephen Colbert. He used to volunteer with those nuns.
Which poisons our love. That fate which condemns me has also denied me. Has also denied me of the flesh. That fate which condemns me to wallow in blood has also denied me the choice of the flesh.
Good old 76 ball. People have often asked me back then, why the 76 ball? I think my parents had one on the antenna when I was very, very small. Really doesn't go beyond that as far as meaning in my old art. That's where I used to work.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was a gnome like me?
Eric. I remember Pierre really liked this part because he's looking at a screen, and then at a certain point he's watching these people all looking at the screen, but there's nothing on the screen, just light. Something about that. You're looking at a screen. So am I. Oh, this music is backwards. It's a song I wrote on the guitar. It's that backwards, but the computer, I forget the name of the software, but yeah, I put all the notes in, made the computer play that song. Before it had words. It used to be called Vancouver, and now it's the musical accompaniment to Lulu Won't Get a Lemon, I think. This was during the stage direction part where I was explaining what I wanted to happen in the previous video.
It will vanish effortlessly in the blinding light.
I knew that was coming, but I didn't know exactly what moment. All right, so there you have that one. And this next one is part of the surprise or little treat for the people who've read Small Mouse and Smaller Mouse, both of them. I mean, if you've read Smaller Mouse, but even more so if you've read both of them, because this is that same actress, friend of mine, playing the role of Blythe. Starting now.
Veils of illusion. The emanations from emanations.
Oh, this is in taco, I
Wrap
think?
themselves away. Veils of illusion.
Or burrito.
Rays of
burrito.
one appear
This part.
as sparks to themselves, and other spark like rays. Veils of illusion
receive the always colors and make never before permutation pictures. In many ways and spaces,
and all stays etched in the veils to be recalled by the sometimes forgetful spark-like rays, both accurately and inaccurately, neither truly nor falsely, for the rays to play in so many ways, and always is there never not an infinite number of unthought of, unmanifested permutations of veils of illusions, which will yet come to temporarily ensnare and liberate sparkling rays. The aware one, by way of one ray or another, many may touch directly and merge in a moment with one or many of the spark-like rays directly. But those who create a boundary within the realm of veils won't acknowledge the contact without a supplementary veil, a word, or symbol, or a feeling, taste, smell, touch, sound, or memory. And so it is that the awake one, by way of one ray, wields veils of illusions in such patterns as to entice and to free the forgotten ones from their veil cocoon slumber. Wake up.
So that part was included as a poem in one of them, either Ibrito or Taco, 2007, February-ish, I think, or 2003, maybe 2003 or 2002, I don't know. This next part is, I think, in the second to last chapter of Smaller Mouse, the beginning. This is another song I wrote.
The greatest trial of the surrogate drone is boredom. I feel myself start to think I'm wasting time.
Blythe is filling in for Simon so he can be deprogrammed.
And that there's much to be
So
done.
he can
And
be
I stop
unplugged
and
from the
remember
matrix.
that each and every second I spend here is a second he requires to learn to be free of this place on all levels. And it's so different doing all this with an awareness of how the world actually works.
Being a drone, that is, because she had been a drone previously.
For Simon, for the
The
resistance.
person who's not there, Simon.
He's integral to your cause, yes, but I do not do this thing for strategy, for compassion.
A bit of Una. Friends of mine.
I am the feather in the wind. I am the wind and the feather. I am the source and destination. I am here now. What I would give for someone to talk to.
Then there's a little dot, and then begins Simon's process in Palace 3. And at the very end here is something that's not included in Smaller Mouse, which is a scene between Simon and Blythe that takes place, I don't know exactly when in the timeline, but before the events of, like, a lot. This is before she gets arrested and plugged in and becomes a drone, and she's a drone for 10 years. And then they rescue her, and then Simon gets arrested and becomes a drone, and then she has to be a surrogate drone. So before she gets arrested, so like 10 years, more than 10 years, 12 years, 13 years before the events of in Smaller Mouse, in this same world, this is Blythe and Simon in the subways.
I want you to stay here if anything happens, Blythe. We'll need someone watching to tell us where they are.
You could have one of the drones do it for you. I doubt anyone would notice. The manager gods are a little slow these days, I hear.
The script is
That
in the
way,
book.
I can be out there saving your ass from the Redbirds the next time you slip on shit.
Manager
Are you ever
gods
gonna
like
let me
Mickey.
live that down? That was once. And the next time you space out and start tripping out on the meeting with a hamburger, who's going to be there to carry the blade that comes down to your neck?
You know what? Shut up, Simon. We need allies in their world. Spies.
How do you propose we accomplish this?
I don't know, but I'd be willing to bet they have some in our world.
If they were down here, then they'd know where we are and we wouldn't be able to hide from them.
The same stuff that you're looking at, Simon, is all the information they have access to.
You think that they have spies down here with blue uniforms and rebel swords?
And I didn't say I thought there might. I said I would be willing to bet.
Then they'd have some kind of communication with the Redbirds.
Do you honestly think that the Empire is as simple as Redbirds and invisible kings?
Tell the others, Blythe. Just stay
this?
here. Get your little brother.
Fuck you! Fuck off! There isn't any time. If you're willing to fight, come to the surface.
Wait for the others, Blythe. Damn you!
So that was a sci-fi, part of a sci-fi story that I started working on. Oh gosh, I mean, it started in 97, then it evolved in 99, evolved again, and I added a lot to it in 2002, mostly 2002. And then it became the basis of the Interdimensional Coffee House, which spun off and became completely its own thing. And then, just recently, a couple months ago, I decided to include like just a few snapshots from the old New World Empire story as sort of a kind of obscure backstory for the coffee house. And then I just fine-tuned it and connected a few dots. And that's what you're reading in Small Mouse, or rather Smaller Mouse. In Small Mouse, you get snippets from the Interdimensional Coffee House. And in Smaller Mouse, you get snippets from the New World Empire that set up by the end of Smaller Mouse, then you see the coffee house and the barista, and it is as it is, kind of on opening day, if you will, of the coffee house as you know it in Small Mouse. So, I hope you had fun. And, yeah. Next time we'll pick up where we left off. And talk to you then. Peace.